First question is from Rachel Atkinson. What do the different foot and leg positions work on a leg press machine?
Okay, this is a good question because you're going to hear and see a lot of information about inner quad, outer quad, quad sweep type of deal, narrow, wide stance type of deal. The biggest difference with foot position on a leg press, it has to do, and there's a difference when you go narrow to wide, and we'll get there, but the biggest in terms of development difference has to do with low versus high position on the platform. So low position, putting my feet low on it, I'm going to get more knee flexion and extension. Essentially, I'm going to get more quad. Legs high on the platform, I'm going to get more hip extension. So I'm going to get more glute and hamstring. Now, when it comes to narrow and wide, not that big of a difference aside from, and this, I do see value in moving foot position for this, muscle recruitment patterns. The strength that you build in an exercise has carryover to other ranges of motion, but the vast majority of the strength is pretty specific to the range of motion and the way that you're training. In other words, if I build lots of strength with a narrow position, I'll have some carryover to the wide position, but most of it's going to be narrow. So what I'm getting at is you probably want to play with all of them and become mobile and comfortable in a wide range.
Where do you put the value on this?
Don't even talk. I know you. I was just going to say, I guarantee Justin's never done any of this bullshit before.
Yeah.
I have the bodybuilder background.
Yeah.
I didn't fuck with none of this stuff. Here's why.
Well, you did different exercises where you got
okay,
it.
so
Yes.
This is all Instagram bullshit.
Let's address this because I know this is going to get a lot of hate, right? Because there's going to be all these biomechanic guys that are going to come in here and be like, "Oh, this targets this." Okay, nothing is going to build more muscle in a particular said muscle than stimulating that muscle novel. And doing a leg press with 10 different foot positions in, out, up, or down is nowhere near more novel than doing a Bulgarian split squat instead of that.
So do your leg press, do this other one. Yeah.
So
agree.
So if you know, give me the muscle that you want to build, okay, or area you want to target to build more of, and I'll give you a exercise you're probably not doing that is going to build more muscle in that area than any foot, variation of the same exercise that you already do all the time. That's the part that I think is so dumb about the people that are teaching this and getting all these kids to follow this. It's like, you're doing this leg press, which is already inferior to most other great exercises like the Bulgarian split squat or front squats or back loaded squats or sumo squats or lunges or step ups, or I can keep going all day long of all these exercises that are already better. And you're messing around on this leg press, moving your feet or turning your feet in and out when you're missing out on an exercise that's going to pack on way more muscle by doing that because it's novel, because you don't do it.
Yeah, and even what I said, even with working different recruitment patterns and developing more, I guess functional strength or strength.
Well, now you're talking about movement.
Yeah, you're better off. Yes, exactly. You're better off doing a different movement than you are moving the foot position. This is, what this is from? This is from the bodybuilding space where this came from. And this also, I think, feeds the whole I should be doing different things, but I want to keep it easy kind of attitude. Because it's harder to go from leg press to a new exercise than it is to go from leg press to leg press to leg press.
And it's very heavy on feel, right? So that mind-muscle connection thing. And so they try to get creative with the way that they can stimulate certain muscle groups and feel like they're getting some bit of, I guess, contraction or pump, in these types of muscle groups. But overall worth. So here's the thing too, in terms of force demand, how much force you're actually going to produce to do that type of an exercise versus doing a squat version of it or the deadlift version of it or not even close on that. So in terms of you actually building overall muscle and size and a substantial amount of muscle development there, it's it doesn't even come close.
Yeah, I will say this though. I don't know. Have you guys ever done a sissy squat leg press or a sissy leg press? It's actually a pretty that's an exercise a lot of people don't do. It's more bodybuilder focused.
I mean, it's a great way to regress somebody who can't do a traditional sissy squat.
Correct.
If I have a client who can't do a traditional sissy squat because they can be a bit advanced to do that.
It's your body weight. Right?
And it takes a lot of control. It's a great way to regress that movement to get the benefits that you get from that. So sure. And by the way, it doesn't mean that you've never seen me do a single leg press. It doesn't mean you've never seen me put my feet up high or low. It's just that talking about this and getting the people that are in the gym that are doing this, it's like you're focusing on the wrong things. Like I'm not picking on the bodybuilder who's been building for 20 years.
He's got
and
2.5 hours. In the
yeah,
gym
and he's
now.
training 2 hours a day, and he's done every exercise that I listed 1,000 times, and he wants to play with his foot positioning to target it a little. Okay, go ahead.
If you're already awesome and you're bored, like,
Yeah,
this is where you
right.
start
But
going in that
the
direction.
other, 99.9% of you out there
Waste of
that
time.
are following that guy or girl that's making the case for why they elevate their heel or kick their feet out, or it's like, go do the exercise you're not doing. If you that targets that area, and you're going to build those glutes more, or you're going to build that sweep on your quad more by going
Plus,
and doing
there's exercises that are better for, like, you want to increase glute
That's what I mean.
activation.
I don't
Yeah.
mean go do some bullshit hammer strength machine that you've never done before. Go do one of the big movements I'm talking about. Go do the lunge. Go do the step up. Go do, the sumo squat, the sumo deadlifts. There's so many great movements that people don't do enough of. That you don't need to be wasting your time on, externally rotated feet on a leg press. Like, come on,
Totally.
dude.